This is the reverse of life. Took me a lot of thinking to do this. A rancher had a broodmare that was nearly 30 years old. She always had no trouble when she foaled. This time she was about 6 months overdue. Bound to be trouble, that rancher knew. One morning he came to check on her and she was dead. The foal was as big as a yearling with gray on his nose and on his head. The foal walked like a horse that was old, even though it was just foaled. It didn't miss its mom, just eating grass and stumbling along. A few months later, a horse buyer bought about 5 head. That rancher threw that foal in for free, he said. He told the buyer about the strange birth and figured he'd just get rid of it for what it was worth. The buyer had a son that was about 7. That old colt would make him feel like he was in heaven. The new owner caught the horse up, put a bridle and saddle on. The man stepped on, the horse just stood there until the man was ready to get going. Now the horse reined real smooth. It wasn't fast, but it sure was smooth. The horse was back and side passed and didn't even try to buck. The old man believed it was just a horse for his son. What luck. When he gave the horse to his little boy, he said, "What's his name?" "I would say Old Dan." He always came. When the child was given a horse, about 3 to 5 years later, they wanted a new one to ride. As time went by, Old Dan got younger with a boy by his side. After 10 years, the gray disappeared above Old Dan's eyes. He got shinier, his step livelier, which was a help and a surprise. Old Dan could cut cows and play the rope with the best, and almost turned the whole better than the rest. After 20 years, Old Dan was getting younger fast. The boy, now a young man, didn't know about the past. Old Dan was about perfect in every way. The young man hoped he would stay that way. In a couple of years, one morning, a young man came out to catch Old Dan. He raised his head and snorted in the way he ran. While he was finally caught, roars was coming out of his nose and fire from his eyes. When the young man stepped on Old Dan, he got bucked off, which was a surprise. The young man called his dad to come. He said, "Something's the matter with Old Dan. Come fast." His father said, "Old man is just an unbroken 2-year-old. The reverse of life has caught him at last." The boy was told what Old Dan birthed in the fateful day. "So, son, turn him loose and let him finish his life that way." A few months later, Old Dan was getting younger way too fast. He was getting smaller quick. Wouldn't last much longer would he last. They found him one day. He was about as big as a dog and was going fast. He was gasping for air. Soon the next breath would be his last. In short time, was just a wet spot on the ground. As he watched the reverse of life, he was gone. There was nothing left to be found. Wouldn't it be great if we could be born with all the knowledge and start life that way? I don't think so. I like the surprises and the sorrows and pleasure and fun and friends. So let's just leave this dumb story like it is, the story of the reverse of life.